right, good morning. Can we give a shout out to the students from the Hurley School and the Boston Music Project for welcoming us this morning? Thank you guys. Boston Music Project has been a phenomenal partner throughout the city, bringing music like that and ensembles to events and to their own programming. So thank you so much for joining us on a brisk spring morning. We'll call it spring. My name is Brian Sweat. I'm the Chief Climate Officer for the City of Boston and the Interim Parks and Rec Commissioner. Welcome to the South End Coffee Hour and our long-awaited ribbon cutting on Titus Sparrow Park. We will hear from our mayor, Mayor Michelle Wu, shortly. Want to give a shout out to her for her investment in these parks and all of our parks around the city, and this project in particular. This is near and dear to me. This is my neighborhood park. When I moved back to Boston 15 years ago, my kids started their Halloweens here. There's a phenomenal Halloween kickoff in this park, birthday parties. They approve of this new playground equipment. We're here after the bus drops them off almost every day. So I hope folks are enjoying this investment. Included the new playground equipment behind me, really designed for kids from 0 to 12, new swings and a spinner, a resurfaced tennis court, which is highly utilized, a resurfaced basketball court, better drainage so we can use the lawns here more often throughout the season, and on-demand lighting so we can use it early evening as well in terms of the basketball courts. So overall, a $2.35 million investment in this park to really bring it up to its highest and best use. So thank you to the Parks Department for that. I want to give a shout out to Halverson, Ty and Bond, the designers on this project, A&J Construction for completing the project. It is through their partnership and their efforts. And then in particular, I want to shout out Nellie Ward, our PM from the Parks Department who oversaw this. I saw Nellie earlier today. So thank you, Nellie, in the orange hat. And then the Friends of Titus Sparrow Park. They were intimately involved in the design and stewardship of this, so thank you for your contributions. We're going to invite them up at the end of the coffee hour for a bit of a ribbon cutting. But first and foremost, I want to introduce these events are hosted by and led by ONS, and with the support of the Parks Department, they've been phenomenal partners in pulling these off. This, I think, is number 10 of a season of 18, so thank you to ONS and their leadership. And it's my pleasure to introduce your neighborhood liaison, Sarah Sharp from ONS. Welcome, Sarah.
All right, good morning. Can you hear me okay? I think this is very loud. Hello, everyone. My name is Sarah Sharp. I'm the Mayor's South End and Bay Village Liaison from the Mayor's Office of Neighborhood Services. I'd like to quickly thank our local elected officials, the Boston Music Project, and the Children's Orchestra. Beautiful job today. Woo! And every city department that's out here tabling and engaging with residents. Folks, make sure to stop by them while you have them right in front of you, okay? So, before we get started, when asked to reflect on this past year, my mind kept going back to a young mom and her daughter climbing up and down the stairs at City Hall. All right, and if you haven't been to City Hall yet, as soon as you walk into the lobby, there's this big old staircase open to the public. We have events there all the time. And in this mom and daughter, I saw a reflection of myself and my own mother, and remembered a time where we depended on public spaces and community activities to escape to and enjoy, and that's when it clicked for me. Because what I admire most about the South End is its community groups and partnerships dedicated to curating spaces for all to enjoy in the neighborhood. I think about the partnership between the Mayor's Office of Arts and Culture and the Claremont Neighborhood Association and how they organize free jazz concerts at Union Church. I think about the park renovations of O'Day Playground, where we'll have free salsa nights with Iba this summer. Woo! At Titus Park, where we'll host Little League, and of Titus Sparrow, which we're celebrating today. And I think about our block parties, our stoop sits, and neighborhood cleanups, all thanks to the dedication of residents and city departments that answer our calls. Thank you, Parks Department. Thank you, BPD, Office of Civic Organizing, Public Works, and anyone else I'm forgetting. So I just look forward to continuing these partnerships and growing these relationships with you all. You can catch me at my next office hour this Friday at Sip of Joy Cafe and Bakery. You can always find those events online. And again, thank you guys for doing what you do. And with that, it is now my greatest pleasure and honor to introduce my boss, our city's leader, Mayor Michelle Wu.
Good morning, everyone, and round of applause for Sarah, who's absolutely amazing. And works hard every single day to make sure that we are focused on the big issues, the small issues, the things that matter most across the entire community. So thank you for all that you do, and thank you to everyone for taking the time to come out. I'm amazed by this turnout on a freezing cold day. I had to dig the coat out of the closet. First, I want to invite up all my fellow elected officials to come on up, because I want to make sure everyone has a chance to say hello and greet our neighbors here. And most importantly, today is about getting City Hall out of City Hall into the community. I am here to brag about the incredible hard work of all of our city departments. So please join me in thanking our city workers for all that they do day in and day out. We have folks here representing housing, parks, streets, public health. Any question you have about any issue, there's someone here who can either answer it directly or make sure that we're going to follow up with you and get you what you need. It is an honor every single day to represent this community. The South End is very special to me. It was the place that I started to raise my family and lived for a while, and appreciating what it meant to be in a place where people take care of each other, where there's a history of standing up for what's right, of demanding that our investments are going to make sure that life gets better for generations to come, all in the middle of the mix of what makes Boston so special, having a clear view at the centers of commerce and all the economic activity mixed in with our residents and neighborhoods and beautiful parks and everything that we are working so hard to continue to try to deliver. Now, we know that there's more work to, okay, I see the sign, so I appreciate the advocacy also, and for you all coming here and lifting up the work that is ongoing and still needs to be done. And we're here to make sure that we can talk directly, get that feedback, not just today, but month by month, day by day, week by week, as we continue to monitor what's happening. This is a city where we are going to reach for solutions on hard issues, and we are not going to give up until we figure out how to move to that next stage of progress and keep going. So I want to thank you all for being partners in that. We've seen some tremendous progress over the last 3 years. In Boston now, our safety statistics show that we are the safest major city in the country. Our levels of violence and major crimes are at the lowest that they've ever been in Boston's recorded history for at least 70 years. This is at the same time that we've created more affordable housing in the last 3 years than in any 3-year window in the last 25. We have higher participation in paid youth summer jobs, more than 10,000 young people getting a paid summer job last summer, and we're going to break that record in a couple weeks as we head into this summer. More investments in early education, more seats than ever before in universal pre-K, and making sure that we are keeping our parks renovated on schedule, our libraries undergoing renovations as well, because every single place that the city touches our residents' lives, we want to know that you feel like Boston is your home, but also that you have many homes away from home in your libraries, in your community centers, in your parks, and that takes all of us working really hard together. So the work doesn't stop. I know we have much more to do, and most of all, I just wanted to say thank you for coming out and for having a hand in that work. So I want to pass it over to my colleagues to say a quick hello. We have, I think, three questions that were submitted in advance that I'll bring up some of our experts from the departments to answer, and then we will conclude with the most important moment of all, the Dunkin' Donuts raffle. So still time to enter the raffle if you hadn't. I want to also echo the thank you to Boston Music Project students. Thank you so much for your beautiful performance and for inspiring all of us with what you do. Okay, I will start with our, why don't we start with city officials? We'll start with Madam President Ruth C. Lujan.
Good morning, South End. And good morning, spring, maybe, but obviously not. It's an honor for me to be here in the South End. This is actually where I had my first job down the street on Columbus Avenue as a youth tour guide, giving tours of the South End and of Roxbury. I'm very excited to be speaking in a few weeks to the South End Historical Society about my time as a tour guide. So if anyone, June 10th, wants to go to their annual meeting, please do so. It's an honor to serve alongside all of my colleagues, to serve each and every one of you you on the issues that matter most to you. Issues the library and the improvements that we're making there. Mass and Cass, and really working alongside the state, city, to really make sure that we're doing everything we can to get people the support they need, and so that we can deal with the quality of life issues. Containerization in our neighborhoods, especially densely populated ones, so we could deal with issues of rodent control. So it's a joy for me to serve alongside the mayor and alongside my colleagues to represent you here in the South End. If you ever have any questions, obviously my office is open and willing to help with any constituent issues alongside your district councilors. And my chief of staff, Emily Poston, is no stranger to this community and to the issues here. So we are here and happy to serve. So thank you for having me this morning. I look forward to seeing folks at Pride in a few weeks, and have a great day. And I also want to shout out to the amazing students over at the Hurley who are here with the Boston Music Project. Thank you for all you do and for lifting up arts in our city. I have the pleasure of calling up my colleague, District Councilor Ed Flynn.
Thank you, Madam President, and honored to be here, honored to represent the South End for the last 7.5 years. I love the South End. I love coming to work every day at City Hall, focusing on quality of life issues, neighborhood services, public safety. It's critical that we continue to work together, to support each other, to advocate for the critical resources that's needed here in the South End, public safety, ensuring that our streets are clean. I do want to say thank you to the dedicated and professional city employees that work hard every day and represent the city of Boston with integrity and respect. Honored to be here with you today. I do want to pass it along to another city councilor that also represents the South End with me, that does a tremendous job, City Councilor John Fitzgerald.
Appreciate it. Thank you, Ed. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, South End. John Fitzgerald, representing District 3. I have Dorchester and a good portion of the South End. Happy to be here today. I just want you guys to know we're out here every single day working for you. Thank you for all of you for being here. Thank you for all the departments for all they do. A couple of the issues that we're looking at, right? We're looking for short-term, impactful solutions to Mass and Cass, and I'm working with it every day. So I know you guys are out there asking, but thank you to the Boston Public Health Commission, the Mayor's Administration, the state, all of us working together to try and get that so you guys can see the difference out there. I know folks want the library to happen, and we got the Harrison Ave redesign happening. So our feet are on the ground. We understand the issues, and I just thank you for having us out here today. I know you don't want to be out here in the cold, and we still got about 20 politicians to go. So thank you for having me. Councilor Erin Murphy at large.
Thank you to my district counselor, at-large city councilor Erin Murphy. Always love being here in the South End. It's such a warm, welcoming community. I want to shout out, it already has been said, the city departments. Thank you for always being here. But I also wanted to mention the Sheriff's Department. Thank you for all you do, making sure that you work alongside us in the city. I appreciate that. And one department that had been missing, not because they didn't want to be here, but a department that's been showing up this year, which I think is wonderful, is the Boston Public Schools now has a table at our coffee hours, along with the Welcome to Kindergarten table. So if you're a parent or grandparent, anyone who wants to go over to that table and make sure that your child, because we're expanding our seats for our pre-K seats across the city, which is so important. But it's always great to be here, listen to the concerns, the South End neighbors. You always look out for each other. You're such a diverse neighborhood. You're surrounded by like downtown Boston, Mass and Cass, and all of the special neighborhoods and just what you bring to the city. So I always love working alongside also my colleagues at the State House who enjoy representing you also. So I will pass it off to your representative, John Moran. Thank you.
Thanks very much. Good morning, everybody. I didn't have a very long commute this morning. I live 2 blocks away, so very proud to represent Suffolk District 9, which includes a large portion of the South End, a little bit of Back Bay, and St. Potolph, of course, a little bit of Dorchester and Roxbury. And so I just want to talk a little bit about how grateful I am to the Parks Department for all the work that they've done. If you think about it, we have this beautiful location. We also have O'Day Park that recently reopened, and we have Crite Park coming up thanks to the great collaboration of City Hall. Just a great effort there. So we have lots of spaces, and just a little bit about this space. I know that it's really special to many families here because we have 4 seasons of events that go on, and it really gives us a sense of community, and it's so important, Brian and others, that that have really kind of helped so much to build that sense. And I think today really reminds me most of, I'm not sure it's legal or not, but we have the sledding in the winter. That reminds me mostly of that, and it really is so much an honor. And I just want to talk a little bit about Massachusetts. I want to talk about the fact that the mayor and us as state officials, we're working together, and we're gonna bring solutions. As the Councilor Fitzgerald said, we're working closely together to bring short-term solutions, but also plan for the future with a recovery focus. So thanks for being here, and really, you guys know where I live, right at Concord Square. I think some of you even know how to knock on my door. So it's an honor to serve you, and have a wonderful day, and thanks again. And I'll hand it off to our other South End councilor, and I would say my boss in a way. So Chairman Aaron Michaelwitz, here you go.
Thank you. John, we're state reps, John. We're not councilors. All right. Don't do that to us, please. All right. Just kidding. Kidding to all my dear friends in the city council. I love you all. You know that. Welcome, everyone. It's great to be here. What feels like a winter coffee hour, I guess. It's supposed to be the spring. But it is a pleasure to be here and to be with all of you, to see some old friends, to see some new friends, and talk a little bit about the issues that we're confronted here within the South End and across the city as a whole. I want to thank the mayor for continuing this program that we've been doing for a long time, and continuing the tradition and making sure that we do get out in the neighborhoods and do have these conversations. I want to thank all the city workers like everyone else has. As a former city worker myself, I know the job. I know sometimes how thankless it can be, but I know the work that you guys all do, and I thank you for doing that day in and day out, making the city move, making the city work, and I know each department plays an integral role into doing that. We are working, as everyone has said up here, we're all working together to keep moving agendas forward, to keep moving things forward, and be positive and be supportive. And from the State House, we continue to work. Me and John has the majority of the South End. I still only have a sliver of the South End. I used to have a lot more, but they moved the lines on me and made my district a little bit smaller. But I do definitely love the South End, and I love having you all here today and having a conversation with you. I do want to just invite you one last thing to a pre-Pride Parade brunch I'm doing on June 14th. Say that 3 times fast. Pre-Pride Parade brunch that I'm having at the Berkeley Park at 9:30 before the Pride Parade. You're all welcome to come. Please come, and I know there'll be a number of elected officials there as well, and a number of people from the South End. So we welcome all, and I hope everyone has a wonderful day, and stay warm. Thank you so much.
Thank you to all our colleagues. Okay, so let's do a couple questions, and we'll tick through these, and then make sure to get back to conversation. So, number one, let's start with with Mass and Cass. What steps is the administration taking to address Mass and Cass? It's clear the issue is getting worse and impacting public safety, small businesses, etc. This one came in. It says from a group of residents. So, thank you for. Okay, I see the group waving. Thank you for raising this. I want to invite up Kelly, who is the head of our coordinated response team, and is Kelly here? Okay, come on up. Thank you, Kelly, for all your leadership and all that you're doing.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Hi, everyone. Thank you for having me. I know a lot of you here through the work that the coordinated response team is doing in the city. And I just want to acknowledge that this is one of our top priorities, is to work on these quality of life concerns and how they're affecting people that live and work in the city. Thank you. That live and work in the city. Even louder. Okay. Thank you. Better? Thank you. Sorry about that. And I'm here to answer any questions. I'm always available. My team is out in the community. We work alongside law enforcement, diversion and deflection. I'll add more. Thank you. And hi, Kelly. Hi. And I will pass off to the captain. Thank you.
Thank you, Kelly. Thank you, Mayor. Good morning, everyone. For those of you who I don't know, I'm Captain Sean Burns. I'm the district commander at D4, which covers here at the South End. And in regard to the specific question for the Mass and Cass folks who, I'm meeting all the time and District 4, there is no higher priority than dealing with the Mass and Cass neighborhood. There's a large number of officers down there every day. We've been working with various groups as well as our city partners and our private partners down in that area. As you know, as we get through these warmer months here, we know that we start to see a larger presence down there. So with that in mind, you know, I've told some of the groups already, we started an initiative back at the end of April, you know, the focus is to improve the quality of life for the entire community down there. From the police end, you know, working on community policing and neighbor policing initiatives. So with that in mind, we started this initiative, and what we're doing is, as I've told you, like, you know, the public usage of drugs and distribution is not going to be tolerated, and that's the focus of what we've been doing, is trying to get, you know, making arrest with the focus of getting people into courts and getting them the resources that they need through the courts, trying to do it in that manner. So as of yesterday, in 24 days, District 4 has made approximately 115 arrests down in the Mass and Cass area, along with approximately 20 summonses, multiple medical assists. Our officers are out there, you know, using Narcan every day as well. So, you know, that's where we are right now in regards to the initiative, and we'll continue to, you know, work down there and work with our partners, and we look forward to it. So, thank you.
Good morning. My name's Bob Ciccolo, and I'm Chief of Field Services for the Boston Police Department. So I cover the whole city, but I need to tell you and assure you that, you know, in that more than 40-hour week I do every week, a significant portion of that, even though I'm covering the whole city, is devoted to the Mass and Cass issue. It's not just the South End side, there's the Roxbury side, there's the South Boston, Southampton Street side of it, but we are intensely focused on it. We do a phone call every morning on it, talking about who and where, and getting very specific about individuals that are problematic, many of them that you've called about. And my role here in your community is to support Captain Burns and his efforts, and to support Kelly Young and her efforts, and bring the entirety of the Boston Police Department's resources, drug units, street outreach, gang unit when needed, and so on, and bring them in and focus on this problem. And so that's my piece of that puzzle. All right, and my email is robert.ciccolo@pd.boston.gov. You can feel free to reach out to me directly, or Captain Burns, either one. But we're very intensely working and focused on it. Along with Dr. Juco out here that I see as well. A shout out, Dr. B.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you to BPD, to BPHC, and all of our team members. So the question, what are some specifics? So I just want to tick off a couple things, and then love to talk more, or you can even send an email out to, if people can help us get that out to everyone who's curious about this. So big picture, I will say that we made a decision in the first couple weeks of my administration that we were going to really try to tackle this issue, because for many years it had been a little bit of an out of sight, out of mind approach, where there was tremendous human suffering, hundreds of people living in permanent encampments, and daily fires from propane tanks that people were using to keep warm, calls for service, emergencies, fatalities from violence, fatalities from overdoses, just something that I could not look away from, and I believe any kind of moral leadership couldn't look away from. But in choosing to address the challenge and get at the roots of it, we've had to build up a citywide infrastructure, because this is a citywide, regional, nationwide challenge, and rather than containing it in a semi-non-residential area and sort of letting things happen and dealing with all of the human consequences of that, it is in some ways harder to manage quality of life by treating it as a citywide challenge that it actually is. So we now have no more permanent encampments in the city because of an ordinance that was passed and because of an infrastructure that was built out. Before our administration, there were no low threshold supportive housing beds anywhere, and so people had to basically just get pushed from place to place. Now we have a pipeline where there's a way to get folks off the street quickly into a spectrum of supported housing that has medical wraparound supports, into counseling, treatment, healthcare, and then permanent housing and holding down a job. Hundreds of people have moved through that pipeline now. We no longer have permanent encampments or tents in the city, and we are looking to next address the challenge of outdoor congregate substance use. This involves a couple things. One, this area, Mass and Cass, was convenient also because it's at the intersection of 3 different police districts plus state police with that chunk on the highway. And we've really, under Superintendent Chicolo and Commissioner Cox and all of our captains, reoriented that so there's a specific Mass and Cass reporting structure to understand the public safety impacts and treat it in a holistic way. We've worked to expand services as well. Before it was 9 to 5 that our public health and street workers could be out there because that's how the staffing was arranged. And now there's 24-hour response time through a really creative and infusion of resources. We've also been working with a lot of the partner organizations in the area to have specific plans around different places. We're looking to have more indoor spaces that people can go during the day, because the reality is that many of the folks that we see out there who are involved in still sometimes being preyed on by drug traffickers, etc., have housing now because of the work and the infrastructure we built in, but we need to make sure that people have a place that is safe to go, that hopefully is indoors or in a way that we're not perpetuating congregate drug use. So we're on to the next phase of this challenge. We know that it will again become a different type of challenge when it's warmer weather versus colder weather. All the numbers show that we're moving in the right direction in terms of number of people on the street, number of people who are sleeping on the street, number of people who are using. However, because we are treating this as a citywide challenge, it is much more visible. We know it's the impact on our neighborhoods and quality of life is a top concern, and we're working here, we're working downtown, Nubian Square, and throughout Dorchester, throughout the neighborhoods to get a handle of this. In the last few months, we've also cut the ribbon on hundreds of units of supportive housing. So Boston, the Pine Street Inn, has led the way nationally in moving away from treating everyone who's experiencing homelessness the same way, right? There's homelessness that will always requires, usually on an average, a 3-week shelter stay, a major medical event, job loss, something that happened, you need to get back on your feet. But for many people who are experiencing chronic homelessness, staying at a shelter is not the solution. And having the right supports through the Lindia development in Jamaica Plain or through others that are in the pipeline with the Pine Street Inn, this is transforming what's possible in getting people the supports that they need right away. And we will feel that on the streets although we know we have a lot more work to do, and I want to thank all the partners here for joining with us on that.
Great, thank you.
Okay, that was the first question. Do we have time? Do we want to keep ticking through the others? Okay, all right. So I'll go fast. I know everyone's cold. Number 2, recent ICE raids nearby are disturbing and frightening for our community. We haven't seen any coverage, and rumors have been swirling. I'd like to better understand what exactly has happened, what's happening in the larger community, and what we can tell our loved ones. So I'll bring up Monique Duwin, who is our director of the Office of Immigrant Advancement. Thank you for all your work.
Good morning, everyone. Even since last year, we've been getting a lot of concerns in our communities, particularly around ICE actions that are separating our immigrant families and our communities. Please know that we take these incidents really seriously, especially the ones that impact families and children and the ones that violate civil liberties. Right now, the action that may have happened in Back Bay has not been verified. If anyone has any information that can affirm that, please reach out to our office. We have a table here that can support your concerns. We have some team members here. I would like to bring them up so you know who they look like. We have Hannah Villa, our Legal Access Project Manager, and we have Jasmine, our Constituent Services Outreach Coordinator. And the reason why I want to bring them up is because we have a whole entire team back in our office that responds to constituent concerns every single day through email, phone, text messages. And we also offer free immigration consultations by immigration attorneys that can answer, help you navigate immigration concerns. And Hannah, do you want to share anything that's coming up?
Yes, we offer these consultations on a twice-monthly basis. If anyone is interested in scheduling one, if you know of someone that would benefit from this, please come visit our table. You can reach out to our office, you can call us, you can email us. We respond to all inquiries, and we can connect people with appropriate resources.
And I really want to make sure that the rumors is part of the plan to invoke fear in the communities. So if you hear any of this, please make sure it's validated and verified before you spread the information, because this terror alone is what's making families scared, not go to work, not go to school, and even leave the country. So that's part of the plan. I want to make sure that we as a community stand together to make sure we create more belonging than fear. Okay, so thank you so much, and please reach out to our office. We are here for you.
And I will just report back, the team led a citizenship day recently at the Reggie Lewis, and we were worried about what turnout would look like, but the slots were filled, although there's definitely people who had to make decisions about whether they should come in person or participate virtually, etc. But even more meaningful was the fact that the slots for volunteer attorneys to help support citizenship processes and naturalization, that was way maxed out. We have a waiting list for people who are eager to help. So I want to thank this community. I will just make a quick note that the Boston Police has been steadfast in their commitment to make sure that we are doing everything to create a trusting and welcoming environment. We know that everyone's safety depends on everyone's safety, and people feeling comfortable reporting crimes, helping us solve crimes by reporting information they have. That is why we have the Boston Trust Act and state law how it is, and we are staying steadfast on that. I also want to note that there are community organizations who are playing a role. So there's a LUCE hotline. You can look up LUCE if that is the best place to report something you think might be an ICE interaction, because they have people who can vet and see what is real, what is not real, and then to help us document and track that. Our office at OPAD is also helping to make sure that we're keeping track of what's happening, and what's been particularly horrific is some of the tactics being used, right? Smashing windshields or dragging people out or showing up at shelters where there are just women and children living there. And so there's definitely an intimidation factor, and we need to keep focus on the facts and following the law here in Boston and Massachusetts. Okay, last but not least on this, streets. I'd like to understand the plan for repair in the streets of Boston. It's become challenging to run and walk with uneven sidewalks and potholes in the streets, and unpleasant to drive. I also want to understand the plan for Tremont Street, where the double parking has been a challenge. So I think Yasha is in the house, our Chief of Streets.
Thank you, Mayor. Good morning, everybody. I'm Yasha Franklin Hodge, Chief of Streets for the city. So just to give you a sense, I think everybody knows no matter how you travel, if you drive, if you walk, if you bike, if you roll, you need to have smooth streets, right? You need to have sidewalks that are accessible. So we are, every year we are trying to increase the amount of work that we are able to deliver for the city. Last year we repaved more than 24 miles of streets citywide. We restored about 13 miles of sidewalk, and we upgraded about 1,600 curb ramps to ADA accessible standards. We are trying to break those records this year, and we have a number of big projects planned, including those here in the South End. At long last, the extensive utility work on East Berkeley Street and on Washington Street is wrapping up, so we will be able to repave both of those streets this year. We also have enough that I had to write it down. We'll be working on East Concord, Pelham, Savoy, let's see, I can't even read my own handwriting here, West Newton, Yarmouth, and we had planned to repave St. Botolph this year, but unfortunately Water and Sewer needs to replace a main there, so we'll be doing prep work so that we can repave it next year as soon as they wrap up. We're also doing a variety of utility cut repair in the neighborhood this year. On the sidewalk front, last year was the first year that we added a dedicated contract for doing brick sidewalk work. Our sidewalk focus has been neighborhood by neighborhood. Last year, the brick contract was focused on the north end. This year, it's here in the south end. So you will see if you go to Washington Street right now, we are restoring a number of brick areas, fixing tree pits, upgrading curb ramps. It'll be moving on to Worcester Square next, and we'll be using the reports from 301 and all of the input that we've gotten from constituents to help us prioritize that. For Tremont Street, so, the Tremont Street redesign project is obviously complete. I think one of of the challenges we've experienced there is that it took us a while to get the meters back in place. And so as a result, there was a lot of long-term parking there, very little parking turnover. It made it difficult for people who were doing short-term activities to find a space, and consequently, we saw a lot of double parking. As of 2 months ago, the meters are all back in place. We also worked with the local business community to design a new set of regulations on both sides of the street to kind of match the needs, having short-term loading zones, longer-term parking where we need it. The goal of all of this is to increase turnover to make sure that there's a space available to do the legal thing when you need to drive on Tremont Street. We've been beefing up our enforcement division as well, record hiring on that team, and we're back to, after many years of deficit, we're back to historic staffing levels. So we're going to continue to monitor it and as needed make changes, but we're hopeful that that will help improve the double parking situation there. Thank you.
Thanks, Joshua. Thank you. And the takeaway on streets is that I just want everyone to understand it's not one and done for any project that's done, whether it's a corridor or an intersection. We need your continued feedback on how it's working and how we can continue to tweak things or make it better or update it. And so the best way to do that would be to send your feedback to Sarah as specific as possible, right? Making this turn always feels like it takes too long and the traffic backs up, or it's really hard to cross the street from here to here, or this particular thing is affecting deliveries. If we know the exact locations, we can always come out and do another quick look and then see if there's anything that can be done to keep updating and improving. So, sorry, Sarah, I know your inbox is going to be flooded with this. Quick grab bag and then the raffle. A couple notes people gave to me. So there was a question on the library timeline and when that will be done. David tells me that May 28th, is that right? May 28th is a community meeting to set and reflect on the final design. After that is done, we will need to go to landmarks to get approval, and then we will need to go to city council, et cetera, for budget, and then hopefully to be in construction by next year and to move as quickly as possible through that, but it will still take some time. So I'm really sorry for how long this has been with the unexpected flooding, triggering moving forward on this project. A shout out to the e-bikes program. Someone let me know they got their e-bike through the city, and so great to hear that. A shout out from Mr. Felton, thank you, John, to Brian Sweat and the team for the fountain getting really, Braddock Park, right? Getting really quickly addressed once it was elevated and having the city come out to do that. And then a note that Memorial Day, the exercises and the commemoration at the plaza is going to be at noon. Thank you to our Commissioner of Veteran Services, Commissioner Santiago. So we will see everyone there. All right, Sarah will come back to do the raffle.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Mayor. Okay, I'm going to give it to Chief Sweat because we also have a ribbon cutting following the raffle, so he's going to pick it. You got to shake it up. No, I'm kidding. Keep it. All right, here we go. We have a Wajahat. W-A-J-A-H-A-T. Wajahat.
Columbus Ave.
495 Columbus. Yes, congratulations. Woo! All right.
Oh my God.
Amazing.
Awesome. Thanks so much.
You're welcome. Okay, there we go. Well, enjoy the Dunkin' Donuts. We can grab coffee and you can use it on me. Okay.
All right, and a quick shout out to Dunkin' Donuts for the coffee and donuts available today, and to Star Market for the fruit available today. Now we're going to invite Shayna from the Friends at Titus Sparrow Park and all of the friends. And can we invite our students back, maybe with their instruments to come up? We're going to do a ribbon cutting on this park and then send people to warmer places.